shut up, you listen to my monkey mouth. There's a companion when you got pun on the canoa route. Hopped in a portal and got in a fight, Elias knocked him out. Bow, Naruto fighting style. Bow, UFC he tapped out. Bow, we win, we get crowned. Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Once Who Woke Up podcast. This is Joshua, as always, and today I've got with me
Sarah Spear. Hi, everyone.
And so this is going to be pretty much everybody who's watching's first time being exposed to you. And so go ahead and tell everybody, what you have going on, what you're doing, where they can find you online, how they can support you, that type of shit.
Sure. Yeah, so I am a comedian based in Austin, Texas, and I run a couple of shows in the city. I run a monthly show at the Creek in the Cave called Texas. It is an LGBTQ show. It's a lot of fun. We are usually the last Tuesday of the month. And I also run a comedy show. It's a storytelling show at the Buzz Mill on Riverside every third Thursday of the month.
That's so much fun.
It's really fun, yeah.
That's really neato.
Yeah.
I know that Elias has been a big proponent of any type of storytelling on as a thing to do on your media platforms, whether it be your podcast or your video show or whatever, right? If you're doing it as storytelling, it's like a neat little angle that I think is a new frontier in podcasting and media that's gonna like catch on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a different art form than the traditional stand-up comedy type of set you might see, but a lot of the stories that we get from our comedians are really funny. We've had some ones that are emotional as well, and I found myself tearing up at my own comedy show.
Holy shit, I wasn't expecting it to be so serious here.
No, but it's really fun to hear stories. It's just a different platform, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, you should come check out our storytelling show sometime.
Yeah,
I post everything, all my shows to my Instagram. It's just Spear Sarah, so let me know if you want to come.
I beyond want to go. You don't have to answer what I'm about to talk about. I mean, we can think about it, but I'd love to sponsor those.
Oh, we would love a sponsor.
Yeah, well, so there you go.
Yeah.
That we just
oh my God, done.
So I'm already sponsoring work with Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already sponsoring work with Aaron McDuffie, and I'm in the process of hashing out things with some other people. I don't want to name any names if we don't have anything like concreted, right? But there's some other folks that I'm working on doing it with. I really like working with the comedians locally, and I really like providing a platform to folks where, like, we're gonna be doing this for life. You know what I'm saying? This Muggy Mouse Studios ain't going nowhere, and so eventually you'll be on your 10th time visiting. It's been God knows how many years. We're calling back to episode. This is episode like 21 or 22 of the podcast.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So young, I love it.
Yeah, well, so we've got like over 200 videos on our YouTube channel, on the Monkey Mouth YouTube channel. We're doing we do a bunch of podcasts. I do a Naruto review show. I'm a big anime dork, and so I do an episode by episode review of Naruto. I'm doing every episode of Naruto all the way through.
Fun!
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot. The idea was, it's the place where I can sharpen my axe, right? Like there's 1,000 fucking episodes of Naruto. So if I'm doing an episode by episode review, I've got 1,000 fucking podcasts.
You're going to get really good at it, yeah.
Exactly. That was the thought, right? That's the place where I can just go put my head down and work and get good at what I'm doing, right? And then we have Shut Up, You'll Listen, which is the one that we may or may not get another episode of in tonight. That is more or less the version of what I'm doing with the Ones Who Woke Up, that leans into pop culture and what's happening now. Like things that are happening on social media, things that are happening on the news and sports, shit that like the average person would hear about, right? Whereas mine leans into my like dumbass psychedelically influenced philosophy, right? Like we're going to talk about the meaning of love.
Oh, no. You didn't tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I fucking bear trapped your ass. It's fine, though. You're here now.
I'm here, but there's whiskey, so can I really be that mad?
Well, and the real truth, yeah, we treat you nice here. Or at least we try to really hard, right? Like, the thing is, like, you walk in, and it looks nice, right? So your sense of sight is impressed upon positively. It smells nice, so your sense of smell is impressed upon positively. Mm-hmm. It sounds nice. We have the lo-fi plan, so your sense of hearing is impressed upon positively. Well, goddamn, that's 3 of your 5 primary senses that are impressed upon positively the moment you walk in the door, right? And it's hard to, like, keep having a bad time. Even if you were having, like, a fucking anxiety attack from driving out here, there's some dickhead in a truck with a grill guard riding you or whatever, you know, like whatever's going on out there in the
Wait,
world.
how did you know that's what happened to me on the way here?
Because I'm from here. I know I know what happens, dog. Like, this is,
Welcome to small town.
Yep.
I'm
yep.
beckoning from past experience. But
Maybe it's the same guy.
Probably.
Should we
He's
retaliate?
he's just out roaming the town. Yeah, I definitely want like a drop hitch where I could just hit a button and it drops like nails on the road. Just fuck that guy. His whole
That would be
everything.
pretty. That would be pretty much a power move.
I played a lot of Twisted Metal and shit like that as a kiddo, right? So my brain is immediately like, I need a lava cannon on my truck.
I don't drive a truck. I drive a Civic, so I think that'd be even funnier if like a lava anything came out of my tiny Civic to try and destroy like a giant Silverado.
Just out of the exhaust. Just
Exactly.
pure lava. Right in his fucking radiator.
My tiny ass car.
Where is it coming from? Where's the lava being generated if it's coming
It
out?
doesn't matter. Don't ask questions.
Listen, there's an engineer who can definitely rationalize a way for this to work. Okay, we don't need to hash out that entire process. But tornadoes.
Terrifying.
We were talking about tornadoes before we were recording, and that's what we said we were going to talk about, and we devolved into tooting our own horns and talking shit. But yeah, so my old studio was in, so that Radix sign right there, I run a CBD company, a cannabis company. We had a warehouse in Hutto, and we had a little side room there where we would like record our video commercials and stuff like that for Radix, and I was doubling it as a podcast studio. And that shit got whacked by a tornado. Like,
Damn.
mega whacked. A wall fell in.
It collapsed.
Yeah.
Just collapsed
and just
in.
crushed everything. And then another wall fell in on top of that. And let's double crushed everything.
Oh, double whammy. Wow.
Yeah, it was like, your shit is fucked, and now here's it's double fucked. It was pretty impressive. There's a video, if you go to my social media, if you like scroll back on my fucking feed, there's a video of me reacting to it and being like, wow, holy shit.
Like they couldn't have just let it go with one of the walls.
No,
It
no,
had to
they
be a total dick and have two walls cave
They were
in.
like, just in fucking case any of that shit survived, let's make sure, double sure, that this shit is fucked.
But something did survive, you said.
Oh, yeah, so the decanter survived. Also, those MMA gloves right there survived. That Radix sign survived. It's bent from where it got smashed.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Yeah.
The TV. The TV made it, somehow.
What?
Yeah.
That survived
Yeah.
2 walls caving in? You can never get rid of that TV.
Never. No, never.
It's practically bulletproof.
And it's so old that it'll be, like, pretty easy to work on. You know? Like, it's not near as small and fine. I feel like my gorilla fingers could probably actually manage fixing that one. Or I could just pay somebody to fix it, right? It's funner to try to. If it's already broken, I'll try and fix it. And if I really break it, then I'll go pay the guy to fix it.
There you go.
And that way I give it a good
No, it's way
college
more
try.
fun to break things.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is, if it's already broken, you can't break it. It's already fucking broken.
That's true.
All you can do is try to fix it and fail. And if you fail, then all you did was learn. So
I like
it's
that mindset. That's a good mindset.
You break enough shit, you fix enough shit. You're like, we're gonna get there. Like,
I'm a
no
software
money.
developer. I break things all the time in my job.
That's awesome. So we won't talk about any like names or anything like that. But like, what do you primarily do as a software developer? Because I don't really like. I'm like, imagine you're talking to a caveman about what software development is, because that's effectively what's happening right now.
Well, I basically build web applications, so anything that you can access through a browser.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So not like the apps on your phone, but just the web versions of
Yeah,
them.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I build the front end, which is just the user interface essentially. So
You make it look pretty.
I get to make it look pretty, but I also make it work.
Yeah.
Don't just say I make it look pretty, but I do make it look pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the one who, like, at the end of the day is taking the stuff that mechanically just does whatever and plugging it in and making it presentable so
Yep,
that
I gotta
someone
talk
can
to-
actually do something with it.
Got to talk to everything on that back end, all the databases, all the queries, all the API calls, all this stuff.
Make sure all the zaps are lined up.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
using Zappy?
I just like the word zap.
Oh, okay. So we would use a deal called Zapier.
Oh, Zapier. Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's how we would link up a lot of our shit on the
Oh,
back end.
cool. No, I don't really work on the back end very much, so I don't really know.
I built
what
my
we
website
do.
up from the top down, but
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but I also just did it on like Wix or whatever. I'm not like real good at it, but I'm able to go in there and I fucking did it. I have a website that works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why those tools are there.
yeah. Pretty like low key proud of myself for doing it, but
You should be. No, web stuff has gotten definitely more challenging over the years.
yeah. Well, and it's funny because it's also gotten easier, right? Like someone like me who has no experience with it at all was able to build a website. You know what
Well,
I'm
that's
saying?
true. There are some things that have gotten
I say I have no
easier.
experience with it. I've built a couple websites with
Yeah.
my business partners, but
Mm-hmm.
like they've always done some of the like heavy lifting where some of the stuff where I didn't know, and I had to go figure all that shit out on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, well, I say by myself, I was able to hit them up. Like, figured it out.
Well,
Your boy figured it out.
half my job is Googling things that are broken.
Yep.
So if you don't mind just always breaking things and typing things into Google to try and find paths forward, then you'd make a great software developer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and like knowing the right forums to search, like you have some golden nuggets, some good honey holes where you find some good answers.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of it is crap out there.
Well, the overwhelming majority of answers that people get online are just absolute dog shit, and just the one person that gives a good answer gets upvoted, and that's what
Yeah,
you see
I mean,
that
my
one.
favorite is when people just get in fights over what's the best way to write something, or when people get really excited when they've crushed everything, like a function that should be probably like 10 lines long, that they crush it into just one line with like no spaces, and they're like, I can read this, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't, but okay.
It's like, good for you, bud. I'm
Like, even if you
blind.
can, I don't care.
Well, like, who would ever want to? Like, why is that a flex?
I don't know. I think it's just
People are just dorks.
people. Yeah.
People are
I mean,
just
I am
dorks.
also a dork, but I think I'm a dork about different things.
So, what type of shit are you dork about?
Well, roller skating for one.
Oh my god. God damn it. The roller skating. Son of a bitch. Y'all, follow her online. She's a great follow. She's fun.
Thank you.
She posts funny videos of her comedy and funny videos of her fucking up trying to roller skate, and also nailing it sometimes. But now my feed has been plagued with roller skating videos because, of course, I like every video of yours I see.
Right.
You know,
And
like-
so then
so
the
like,
silly
holy shit, we need to
algorithm.
feed this motherfucker roller skating videos, bro. We're gonna keep him on the app forever with roller skating videos for sure.
and you're like, wait, no, I only want to watch her roller skating
It's like,
videos.
bruh, can I just like only get Sarah Spear videos? But it's a small price to pay, because you are sincerely a fun follow.
Oh, thank you.
On all the platforms. I believe I follow you. I mean, God, I manage a bunch of social medias, right, with all my different little brands. But I know I for sure follow you on at least one of them on Instagram and at least one of them on TikTok. And so,
Okay.
And so I get to see your videos on both of those. Mm-hmm. And like they give me dopamine, dog. Like I literally cannot deny the fact that they give me like the happy.
That makes me happy.
They give me the happy brain chemicals, dog. They really do.
I will say people do enjoy watching other people fall on their face.
Yeah, it's great. And like,
Those are the videos that do the best on my social media.
but I'm never like at it. It's never too much, right? You're never like fucking folding your leg in 3 places. You know what I'm saying? It's never anything crazy. It's just like it's funny. It's like, oh, she took a tumble. And
Yeah, she did a little splat. That's all it was. It's
Yeah,
okay
and
though.
You can kind of chuckle at it and not feel bad.
Right.
You know.
No, if I broke my arm in 3 places, I don't think I would be posting it.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Or maybe I would. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd want to post something that brutal.
You just have to like share it to me, and then I share that shit.
That's
Just, like,
fine.
Not direct. Yeah. All right. We got.
Because the
we got
point
it.
is me falling and then me laughing. You know, like
Yeah.
I want it to be very lighthearted.
It's great. So, you were saying that you run 2 shows, and that one is like the storytelling platform, and then the other is an LGBTQ friendly stand-up show that's on the last Tuesday of every month. Mm-hmm. And all I can think is that, God, please let it be called Tomboy Tuesdays.
No, it's called Texas.
Well, I'm not going to tell you how to brand your stand-up show. Maybe I'll.
Tom by Tuesday is fun.
Well,
I wanted to call it Tuesdays, but there's already a Tuesdays out there. So Barbarella has a Tuesdays dance night.
Who's Barbarella?
Barbarella's is just a dance club in downtown Austin.
Oh, so
It's actually right around the corner from where the show is.
Yeah,
It's literally right around the corner.
If they were in some far off place, L.A., New York, whatever.
I mean, maybe.
But if you're doing it locally and they're doing
I'm
it
not
locally,
gonna copy anyone. Although Tuesdays is great.
Man,
It's really
that is
hard to
excellent.
top that, but we jokingly started calling it Texas, and then it stuck. So we've been calling it Texas, and we hit our
It's fine.
1 year
It's
anniversary last month. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Great.
so we've been
Cool.
doing it for over a year
Have y'all
now.
been doing it at the same spot the whole time?
Yep. Same
Wow,
spot.
holding it down, Good for you. I'm proud
Yeah,
of you, dog.
thank you. Running shows is actually a little more challenging than I thought they would be, but
Especially holding them down. Like one of the big things is maintaining professional relationships over a prolonged period of time, right? Like you got to hold it together as a person that whole time.
yep.
You crack
With the venue,
So-
with the artists, with
Yeah.
how you promote. Yeah, it's definitely a project for sure. Yeah, definitely a
a
project.
little bit more than like someone who's just hearing that you run a show might think it is, right? It's
Yep.
a pretty involved deal.
Oh yeah, there's spreadsheets.
Yeah,
There's
cool.
spreadsheets.
I mean, the fact that you're doing it with spreadsheets, you're killing it.
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
But you're also a fucking software engineer, right?
I do like to be organized.
Are you formally trained in that at all, or is that something you just picked up along the way?
I picked it up along the way. I started
Oh.
out as a program manager / event planner, so that is also another reason why I think I'm very good at running shows.
Of course,
Because
yeah. If
I
you
was
did that professionally,
Yeah, I would run and host 30K plus events, so you get really good at planning when someone gives you that much money.
I've had
And you
to
have to get alcohol and food and make sure people are there and tables and linens and
Yeah.
all these things you never thought you had to pick out.
Yeah, so many small decisions.
Yeah.
That you can get overwhelmed in if you don't. My thing is, you want to say there's no wrong decision, but there are wrong decisions.
Oh, there
right?
are 100% wrong decisions.
But the thing is that if you just get to the end of it, right, then you can go back and look at it and be like, well, this is what needs to be fixed, right? But if you get caught up in the details and just get stuck in the mud, man, those can go sideways quick. I've been at events like that gone sideways, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, these guys fell apart.
Yeah.
this fell apart quick. I've done a lot of like public speaking, so I've had to deal with a lot of.
What's an example of something that just fell apart? I'm curious. I want to know, like, did they run out of alcohol? Did nobody come? I don't know. I just want to hear about how other people have failed. Is that horrible?
No, it's okay. And it's just, this is funny because this is why I love the podcast. This is literally a story that I would have never, ever in a million years guessed that I'd be telling.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hear it.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's fucking.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's fucking
Come on
juicy.
now.
Well, I gotta like.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like giddy right now. Like I'm literally like.
All right, I'll be quiet.
The world's watching though, so we gotta like. All right. I own and operate a drone company where we contract out commercial drone operations abroad. And so I do a lot of public speaking for that company. And one of the public speaking engagements that I went to, it's been years since this happened, and I honestly cannot even remember the name of the event. It's most certainly not going on after what went down. I went one year, and it was like a C plus. Maybe a C minus. Like it passed the bar for being an okay event. I've been to a bunch of events that just sucked outright. Right. This is the only one where I got to watch it like descend into fuckery.
Oh,
And-
I love it already.
Oh, it's beautiful. God damn it, it's beautiful. And it was all being ran by this dude named Baco, who was an African guy.
Okay.
And the first year, it was at a relatively legit venue. Everything, I spoke at it. I got some leads out of the deal. I made a bunch of money. It was fine. Everything was fine. Well, the next year, it was at some weird building on the UT campus, and it was just a clusterfuck. Like, there was no space. Everyone was complaining. They didn't have a bunch of the small shit, like they didn't have flyers. They didn't have, like, basically anything that needed to be printed. They didn't have anything that needed to be printed.
It's a good start.
Right? It's like, oh, shit, wow. Well, I mean, so, like, apparently they had some, right? But I got there, like, within 30 minutes of it starting.
I mean, within 30 minutes of it starting, you should probably not run out of something.
And they were
Call me crazy,
and they
but
were telling
yeah.
me they had some. I'm like there's 75 people here. And again, there was like nobody, right? Like, again, there was like nobody showed up, and there was no space. It was such a clusterfuck. It was so tight and so miserable, and like, the rooms where you're supposed to be doing your speaking were way too small, and you're trying to squeeze 20 people in there, and you can't even squeeze 20 people in there. And yeah, it was bad. I'm telling you, it was like, what in the fuck is happening? And I actually wound up not even speaking. I wound up being like, this is so much, because oh man, I remember what happened. This dude literally messed up the schedule and had me and another dude double booked in the same room. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, you got it, bro. Like, you got it.
You were like, actually, this is a good out for me.
Yeah,
I'm going to get drunk and leave.
Perfect, bro. Like, I don't think there was alcohol.
Okay, well, that's just unacceptable.
It was miserable. I'm telling you, it was miserable. And one of the sponsors wound up coming unfucking glued publicly. Wound up calling Baco a Camerooni con man on social media. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
This is the fucking firestorm that it turned.
No.
Yeah, dude. This happened.
No.
This happened in real life. One of the people who paid him like several $1,000s to be the name on the event was like, bro, no way. And the guy, apparently, like, Baco stopped responding to him. And yeah, it was bad. It was, like I'm telling you, I can't. Baco, if you're hearing this, I sincerely doubt you're still doing event planning. I sincerely doubt the guy's still doing event planning. If he is, I will never go to one of his events.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there was more shitstorm on social media, but it pretty much, I mean, there was a bunch that led up to that, but then it pretty much climaxed with one of the biggest sponsors of the entire event coming out and publicly calling him a Camerooni con man. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. No one's ever come out and called me any names on the internet after I've ran an event, so I just feel like maybe I'm doing an okay job.
Hey, that's the bar not to trip over, right?
It's a pretty low bar. It's a pretty low bar.
You're clearing it, dog. You're literally high stepping that motherfucker. You ain't even having to jump. You're just like, step. It's no problem.
Man, I've never had a sponsor become unglued at an event. That must have been wild to
I wasn't there. I left.
Oh, you left at that point? Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I didn't see the actual...
Oh, wait, no, you said it was on social media when all that happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was clearly... They had words there as well. Like, there was a lot to it. It was all very public. I got to read it all. It was juicy. When it happened, again, this is 7-8 years ago, man. Like, this is a while ago. 6 years ago? 6 years ago, and I also do a lot of drugs. So
it could have been 1 to 9 years ago. Who knows?
Exactly. It was more than 1. It was definitely more than 4 years ago, for sure. Absolutely more than 4, and absolutely less than 10. Yeah. So that's
good range.
That's like a 6-year range for you.
Yeah.
It's like cloudy memory space that shit went down in.
I'm trying to think of the biggest mistake I made at an event, and I'm not going to lie. I think one of them was I ordered too much alcohol for the party, and we had a huge bar tab, and I started going to everyone and was like, we have to drink twice as much as we're drinking now because I've paid for all this alcohol, whether we drink it or not. And then everybody was very happy to hear that. Nobody was mad at me for getting too much alcohol.
Sure, yeah, but it's like, hey, like, they're going to take all this alcohol with them, And they've already taken my money, so let's make sure we drink
That's
this
pretty
shit.
much, yeah, exactly. And
Savage. I'd have been like, yo,
even
the
my
bottles are mine.
even like the person, even kind of my boss that was in charge of me wasn't even mad. Like he was just like, great, guess we're getting fucked up.
Well, it's like, hey, we're clearing our margins already with how this worked out. Like all this math mapped out already, and we're getting more
Yeah,
drunk.
no,
Cool.
everything went great. Everything was perfect. I just was a little overzealous with how much I thought people were going to drink. And I will tell you, I tried really hard to drink that bar tab to its full capacity. We did not do it, actually. I was a little disappointed in the party. I thought we had it in the bag, but nope. I guess we had to work harder. But that's probably the biggest mistake I ever made, was just oops.
Guys,
Yep.
her biggest mistake was she threw the most legendary fucking event that's ever went down ever. That's badass. You're a legend, bro.
So yeah, come to my parties. I throw a good one.
Yeah, no doubt. Shit, shoot me a text next time. It's going down for real. I'll bring some mushroom tea for everybody. It'll be perfect. So we were talking before the podcast that this whole thing is the ones who woke up, right? Buddha translates to the one who woke up.
Okay.
And so the point is, we're out here waking motherfuckers up, and I had my psychedelic awakening through literally psychedelic drug use, right? Like, we're all one big fucking organism. We're literally all one thing. And I see that very clearly. Like, me and you are front and back of the same coin, in the most literal sense that you can possibly imagine. It's more like a big complex die at that point, though, because there's a lot
of sides.
There's a lot of us, right? But it is a thing. It's a thing, for sure. And so I would have brought the mushroom tea. And gotten everybody real fucked up. Yeah. So you've never done any psychedelics?
I've
at
never
all?
done any psychedelics.
What's the highest you've ever gotten? Because I know you said that you like smoke weed on occasion ish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to push your fucking. I don't know if like the event people are gonna be like, oh my god, Sarah
On
smokes weed.
occasion.
Yeah, but like tell me about like the highest you ever got for sure. I wanna
The
hear about it.
highest I've ever been. That is a good question. I mean, not enough to like transcend time and space, like I think you might have done on mushrooms.
Yeah.
But I think it was one time when I was in college. I do remember getting extremely high. All of the girls on my floor in my dorm were very, very big into smoking weed,
Of course,
and I had
in
never.
college, everyone's smoking weed.
Well, and I had never really done it. Like,
so you grew up like extra vanilla. Where did you grow up?
I'm very vanilla. I grew up mostly. Well, my dad was military, so kind of all over. But I went
got
to
you.
high school and college in Virginia. And
Oh,
I
damn,
was,
so you're like balls deep in Militaryville.
yeah, Militaryville, and also I went to like magnet schools. So
What is a magnet school?
a magnet school.
I imagine they're training you to be fucking Magneto, dog.
No. So a magnet school is just a school that focuses on a certain topic, and it's usually for students that are advanced in that area. So I went for math and science. So I was that nerd that
Which was your
like,
shit, math or science?
it was both. Like,
Well,
I went
they
to a
kinda
math
go-
and
well, they
science
kinda go hand
academy.
in
They
hand,
kind of
right?
go hand in hand with what I was doing.
What were you doing?
A lot of calculus.
Fucking
A lot of
bro.
calculus and
Everyone's
physics.
like, "Is the Earth flat?" Bro, we invented calculus.
Yeah, like what?
Like calculus is literally what we came up with to calculate how this shit's moving around. Like we calculated the heliocentric model. We didn't fucking just dream that shit up.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, so I guess I'm trying to tell you that I wasn't somebody that got invited to a lot of parties or would like go out. I mean, most of the things I would do would be homework, and I worked through high school and college and stuff too. So, yeah, I never really got into it. I mean, I love to drink, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do love getting high. But yeah, I had never smoked weed until I had gotten to college.
Damn.
And so
I forget that people like you. I actually forget that
I
people
do need to pour a glass of whiskey, don't
go
I?
for it. But while you do that, I'll talk shit about you. So I forget that. You know what? I got you. I got you. Shit.
Oh, but you can
I'll
talk
be a
shit
good
about
host.
me while you're pouring me whiskey, so at least I have
Pull this
something
microphone over.
something
So-
delightful on the other end of this.
I had something clever I was gonna say about Sarah Spear, but now I can't remember. So
Oh.
something about you being real fucking vanilla.
Oh, I'm so vanilla. Look at me. Just look at me. I'm wearing a brown sweater, and I am very white.
That's Thomason
I
right
was
there.
hoping you'd just be like, yeah, you're really white. I was hoping you would say that, but I had to prompt you. Sorry.
No, I'm more worried about that scotch right there. So that's
Oh.
That's Thomason. That's Elias.
Don't worry about the scotch. I've got it.
That's Elias's baby right there. We were talking about how you hadn't fucking. Oh, I was saying I forget that people like you even exist. That, yeah, I was a maniac in high school, man. My God. I'm glad I calmed down, right? Because, I was getting off into some shit.
I mean, by the time I got to college, I went absolutely nuts. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had some fun in college?
I had a lot of fun in college. I think I still, to this day, have a lot of fun. I'm making up for a lot of lost time.
We digressed. I asked you something about where you grew up, but we were talking about something before that. Does
Oh,
anybody
yeah,
remember?
the highest I've ever been.
Oh, yeah. We were going to... So you were in college.
Yeah, so
All
we
your
were in
roommates
college.
were fucking getting high and shit.
We were all getting high. And I remember our big thing was we would spend our nights. We would all get, like, chicken tenders from the dining hall.
Yeah.
And French fries. And we would get really high and watch Reno 911.
Oh, that's a
That
bet.
was our jam. And yeah. I mean, there's so many quotable moments. I could get lost in quotable moments from Reno 911. But I remember one night we got so high. I got so high that pretty much they told me I don't even really remember. I wouldn't stop laughing. Like, I think they told me that I laughed for like minutes and minutes and minutes straight. Like,
on some Joker shit.
Like, on some Joker shit. Like, would not stop laughing. They were like, we thought you might stop breathing because you couldn't, like, you wouldn't stop laughing. And then you just fell asleep.
What a legend.
And I was like, I don't remember any of that. Like, I must have had so much. And I don't know what happened. But yeah,
just overdosing on dopamine.
They probably thought I was losing my mind. Yeah. They probably were like, this is her Joker origin story.
Oh my God.
She smoked too much weed and then passed out.
That's legendary. I
did eat all my chicken tenders, though, before. So at least I had something in my stomach.
What were y'all smoking? Joints or bongs? Or what were y'all
It was
even smoking?
bongs.
Did y'all have like a big old bong, small bong? Like, were y'all-
Oh, I don't remember. God, this was so long ago. I mean, I think it looked big to me at the time.
But in retrospect,
It was probably just a very normal, run-of-the-mill, like, nothing too exciting. But of course, me, who's never really seen any of this stuff.
Oh, this is just this big, huge
in my
glass
head, I was like,
contraption.
in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how does this work? Like, what do I do?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Also, I look at pictures of myself in college, and do you feel like you're shorter? Do you feel like you like get taller after college? I think that's wrong, but like I look at pictures of myself, and I swear I'm like half the size I was right now than I am right now.
I look at pictures from me in college, and I am about literally half the size I was in college.
There you go.
I used to be like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was big old boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's night and day.
Yeah, I'm like 290, 300 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had gotten up
I
to
went the other way.
yeah. So like me from college would fucking eat me now. Like, oh my God.
I think me could eat me from college right now.
I bench pressed 425 in college.
Whoa.
Yeah, that like I think if I could bench press 325 right now, I'd be like, yeah, like that guy literally was a beast. Like I don't. I was also like played football in high school and stuff, power lifted.
My max bench is probably like 85 pounds.
I would do arm curls with 85 pounds in each arm.
No, that was
I'm not kidding.
that was like the best bench I'd ever had.
Lift that with my
In the
dick.
height of my like weightlifting gym rat phase.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's like the bar and 2 tins on each side.
Okay, no, that's like 65 pounds. So
No, the bar's 45.
I said 85.
Oh, yeah, 45 and then 2 tins on each side.
2 tens on each side. Sorry, I thought it meant like a 10 on each side.
Yeah, no.
I was like, check your math.
Girl, I was power lifter. It's like state in Texas.
I just
powerlifter.
misheard you. I've never been a power lifter. I still like lifting though. I'm assuming you still lift then?
No, so
Oh, no, not
I
anymore.
do the to the best of my ability, I do the Saitama workout. You watch any anime?
I don't.
I run a whole anime podcast.
Don't forget I'm boring.
Well, I mean, shit. Like, yeah, people could say sitting at home watching anime is pretty goddamn boring.
Oh.
But
Well, there's just okay. Here's the thing.
I have
There's
a
so
blast.
much.
I have a blast.
I wouldn't even know where to start. I think that's the thing is I wouldn't even know where to start.
You know, there's all kinds of places you could start. I mean,
Sailor Moon. I do like Sailor Moon. I did one
So
of the
that's
places
anime.
I lived.
That's anime.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then I've watched anime. I grew up in
produced in
Japan,
Japan.
so I watched a lot of Sailor Moon.
Yeah, dog. That's literally so. All that anime are cartoons produced in Japanese animation studios. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
it.
Well, then I've probably watched way more anime than I've realized.
Most people have. Most people have. Like Dragon Ball Z, that's anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, is Gundam
Gundam's absolutely an
okay?
anime.
I watched a lot of Gundam.
See
too.
what I'm saying?
All
Yeah. See, you've watched some like. Good
Hell yeah,
OG.
I'm cool now.
See what I'm saying? It's cool to be a nerd these days. Know what I'm talking about?
All right, sick.
Yeah, I watched all of Demon Slayer recently. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, fuck me. Demon Slayer is so goddamn good. Tanjiro is one of the most wholesome characters ever, but I'm just like talking in a foreign language about shit you know nothing about right now.
It's great.
So
I mean, I'm here for it.
I'll shout out Demon Slayer. You guys watching Demon Slayer. Maybe we'll do a We Watched edition and we'll fucking bullshit with someone who's watching Demon Slayer. But between here and there, you were saying that the highest you'd ever gotten was fucking laughing your face off and going to sleep. And it reminded me the whole time of a story of me when I was up around 500 pounds. I was over at my brother's house. We were sitting around the table. And I made a joke about the shadow state. And I laughed so hard that I passed out. Like fell out
Like
of
you actually passed out?
like turned into a sack of potatoes and fell out of my fucking stool at 500 pounds.
That's really impressive, actually. That's really impressive.
I'm absolutely convinced that I'm going to die laughing at one of my own jokes. I've, like, after that, like, I felt my soul trying to leave through the interior fontanelle of my brain. It was like, I'm fucking out of here. And I was like, nah, hold on, what? No, what? What the fuck? I'm not supposed to be dying right now. The fuck? I just made a joke. I was just laughing.
See, I just fell asleep probably because I was tired, right? Like
Oh,
I
you
didn't
were
like
high
I
and
didn't
you,
like
like-
pass out though.
Yeah, no, I literally, like,
Wow. Wow.
yeah, laughing so hard that I fucking passed the fuck out. at
The
fi-
human body can do incredible things.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could. I didn't know that you could laugh so hard you could pass out.
I didn't either.
Yeah. So apparently there was an old, like Greek or Roman. I get the old cultures where they're the fucking same, Greek and Roman. Who fucking knows? But one of those fucking old dudes from one of those old cultures apparently died laughing at one of his own jokes. And that is
Legend has it.
that is motherfucking me. Like, if I've ever identified with an old dead motherfucker, it's that guy. For
I
sure.
like how, you hear the stories about how the first guy that ran a marathon died, and then there's this guy that just laughs at his own joke and he dies. I just
Man.
think that's a funny contrast.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, there are extremes, right? You can,
Yeah.
He put himself through the extreme of laughter and through the extreme of running, and they can both get you.
Yeah, they're like, laughter is the best medicine, / it can kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can drink too much water and die.
I did know that, yeah.
You know that happened on a radio show at one point.
Somebody died on a radio show from drinking too much water.
Win the Wii.
Whatever he just said, win the Wii?
When the week?
I don't know.
Win the Wii. So they drank water and they couldn't pee.
Yeah, so the whole point is they would bring people on the show, and they would make people drink water and drink water and drink water at a certain rate and see who would hold out without peeing the longest. And a nurse even called in and was like,
Y'all need to
"Hey,
go to the bathroom.
these people could die," and they were like, "Nah, we know what we're doing. It's chill." And then someone fucking died.
But he won the Wii.
Did he win the
What
Wii?
an honor.
He won
Like a fucking the game console?
Yeah, that's what's called win the Wii. Because, like, Wii means peas.
Yeah. So
Wii.
so the dead guy got the Wii.
Bury me with that motherfucker.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't nobody get that son of a bitch. That's mine.
You're like, no one's inheriting this.
Like,
I want it fair and square.
like, the goddamn the dude who like rows the boat across the lake to the afterlife is gonna be like, "I'll take that Wii as payment." And be like, "Suck my dick. You can't have this Wii. Take this penny. I got a coin for you. Here's a shekel. You ain't getting my Wii. I'm playing this shit with God. Me and God are playing this motherfucker for show."
Like, I just got Wii Sports.
Motherfucker, I wanted
Not
to
giving this up.
I was gonna try and die of a heart attack playing Wii tennis, bro. I wasn't trying to get got by drinking too much goddamn water. I was just trying to be nice and hydrated for my Wii Sports showdown. I didn't realize. What a way to go.
Yeah, that is a way to go.
Can you imagine wanting a gaming system so bad that you would
It was done for Christmas.
literally kill yourself by drinking too much water? Like your body has to be like, you're dying. Stop.
I was going to say,
Your body has to
you
be
have
like-
to be in pain at some point, or there's got to be some sort of
He was doing it
signal.
for Christmas, so he was doing it for his kids.
Fuck them kids.
And he just like won the Wii. You know?
Fuck them kids. Bury me with that Wii still. Them kids don't get that goddamn Wii anymore.
I don't think you could play it.
Like, hey kiddos, dad died, but here's a Wii.
Consolation, here's silver lining.
We can just make a me that looks like him,
Oh my
and you can talk to him when you're sad.
Oh my god.
He can teach you how to play baseball.
Oh, I'll teach you how to play baseball.
Look, I'm playing catch with dad.
It's the saddest
Son of a bitch.
story.
I'm going to hell for how funny I think this is.
No, I also think it's
This is
funny.
fucking
Reserving
tops.
a spot for 4 of us.
Yeah, I'm going there on a Lightspeed rail, so come
What-
join me.
What would it take for you to damn near kill yourself with water before what would be a strong enough motivator for you to like take yourself to the brink there? I'm saying a trip to Mars. A trip to Mars, I'd be like
Only if I could come back.
I'd have to
Like,
get
I want to come back, though.
from Mars?
Yes.
Why?
I don't want to die there.
Why?
Because I have all my stuff here. I want to die around my stuff.
Bring your stuff. What, can you bring your stuff? Is that a thing?
Probably not. There's, like, no infrastructure on Mars.
I just need like this much
Your
space.
Wii can't be plugged
My
in.
Wii can't be plugged in on Mars.
Bruh.
How am I going to play with my dad?
They got the satellites.
I would definitely, well, since Mars isn't, actually like a place we can physically go yet as people, I would say the moon. The moon would even be good enough for me. I'm all about building like a space camp on the moon.
You're just gonna get killed by the Nazis who are already up there.
Don't ruin this for me, please. You just asked me what my dream was. What would I kill myself? What is my dream to kill myself over? And I said the moon, and now you're making this really sad.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Fuck your dreams.
Just like that Wii.
Yeah.
Just like your dad.
Bury you on the moon. How about that? Bury me with that weed. Bury her on the fucking-
I wouldn't mind being buried on the moon. I don't think no one else is that I know of, at least.
Man, that's a fucking good point.
But there might be. You said there's Nazis up there.
Man, I did say that. I did fucking say that. Whoops. I'm high. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Space Nazis, for sure. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. Well, what would
They're on the dark side of the
What
moon.
would you nearly kill yourself over to do? Is it Mars? Is that what you would say?
Oh, there's a lot of dumbass shit, for sure.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's just like nearly, bro, like, I don't know, large Coke. Like, fucking nearly, bro. Cool. Like, I want to see the pearly gates anyways. Let's fucking go.
So you don't actually die, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like, nearly. You know, those, like, nearly. Like, you're just going to go through, like, all the pain and, like, being super scared.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, oh, God, I'm in the fucking hospital now. Holy shit.
They're like,
nearly...
come back. They're not ready for you. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
God's like, I don't want you. And you're like, oh no, I have to go back.
Yeah, what are you willing to put yourself through this for?
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think of other things. God, I don't know. I did. I'm gonna admit this openly to you. I hope this doesn't change how you view me. It might.
No, listen, before you say this, I love you unconditionally.
Oh.
It's all chill.
Thank you
You're
so
not going to
much.
out-weird me. Yeah, let's
Well,
go.
it's not weird. It's just maybe sad.
Well, let's go. Let's fucking hear it now. Now I'm on the edge of my seat.
I went through hell today to get Taylor Swift tickets.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. Are you trying to scalp them?
Oh, absolutely not. I am 100% going.
I thought, man, if you were just like being a fucking, if you were just trying to be a predator and make money off kids like she does, I was going to like respect it so much more.
You know,
What's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
oh, see, you can't. maybe from which era would even be hard.
Okay,
From
so
which era would be hard to answer.
what's the first one that comes to your heart, right? Just the like, well, what do 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 do? What are you hearing?
What gets me through the day?
Yeah.
Well,
What's the one right now? What's the one
what's
you're
the
listening
one
to
right
now?
now?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I should have thought this through. I'm like gonna go through like this laundry list of like 100 songs in my head and be like, which one is now?
Well, like, what did you listen to today from her? You listened to fucking at least 10 songs.
I did listen to.
Which one did you listen to more than
I
twice
listened
today?
to her most recent album and her very first album.
Both today.
Her debuted, yeah.
God damn, that's a lot of Taylor Swift.
It is a lot of Taylor Swift.
Holy shit.
And they're very different because her first album was like a country album.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
her new album is very much not a country
Are they
album.
are they still inviting her to the CMAs?
Oh yeah.
Yes, she actually is. I think she has up for a Grammy for like one of the best country songs.
Even though she's making pop music.
Well, she is re-recording a lot of her music and she's pulling songs out of the vault is what she's calling them, and she wrote more country songs. Scooter Braun technically owns like several of her albums, but not the sheet music, so she can still re-record and play live. Loophole. So that's why she's re-recording everything as Taylor's version, because now it's hers.
Yo, Scooter Braun's a fucking savage.
Oh yeah.
That guy's a fucking savage.
Yeah. If anybody should die from drinking too much water, it's Scooter Braun.
I feel like there's a lot of people who would probably co-sign on that statement, considering some of the
100%.
predatory things that he's done in the industry.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. There's a lot of dudes like that out there in the industry, man.
Yeah.
That's why I like having my shit to where it's just me. Like I own all this top down. No one can cancel me. All my content's on my site. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all me.
Yeah.
And all the other platforms, all the other capitalists, all the other interest groups can just be damned, you know, the whole time. They can't touch me. You know, I think the only person who could actually really pull my plug would be Daddy Bezos. I think that Amazon are the people who provide me with my web hosting services, right? So like if I pissed off Bezos bad enough, which Bezos I've got a plan for how we're going to change the world.
Tell me.
Guillotine 2024.
Oh.
Yeah. So I want to put guillotines.
I love the like callback to history.
Yeah. Oh, it's the future. So
the history becomes the future.
It repeats itself, dog. I'm telling you. I'm just ahead of the curve. I want to, as a capitalist, erect guillotines in front of every major politician and like billionaires' home. So that when the time comes, whenever we start dropping them guillotines, it's going to be etched on the side of that guillotine that pun put it up, and I get 3% of the entire wealth of the person who we just guillotined with it.
That's brilliant.
And that's my
3% of billions is so much money.
So
do you think you might actually end up being a billionaire in the process? What would happen if that happened?
Guillotine me.
Guillotine!
Do it. Fucking do it, dog. Let's fucking go. Yeah, bro. Live by the sword, you die by that son of a bitch. Whatever.
I'm glad you said that. I have a lot of respect for you.
Let's fucking go. I appreciate it. I've seen the mountaintop, dog. I'm telling you. I've done so many drugs. I've had my heart weighed at the fucking scales. I've had my heart weighed against the feather of truth in the hall of Anubis while high on LSD. Like, it's
What
fine.
is that like?
It's terrifying. It's absolutely...
Have you also had this experience?
Similar. Yeah.
It's
Similar?
absolutely terrifying. Yeah. I did
And this tells you whether you're like a good person or a bad person.
It's like
or...
imagine like you're having a conversation with God and they're basically judging you, right? Like you died and they're judging you. This is like the moment they judge you. Yeah. And yeah, I went through that for sure. So I ordered a whole bunch of hash and a whole bunch of LSD showed up, and I wound up doing it all
at once.
Yeah. Well, so I did half of it. And
slay,
then
queen, slay.
I did half of it and I was like, fuck it, and did the other half. And I wound up meditating in my bedroom in silent darkness in lotus pose. Yeah, throughout the entire duration of it. And actually, I wound up laying down. I wound up being like a thump. But, yeah, dude, definitely wound up getting so high that I couldn't find my body. and I thought that I'd had a heart attack and died in my bed.
See, that feels scary.
It's terrifying. Like literally, you asked how is it, and my one word answer earlier was, it's terrifying.
So what would compel somebody such as me who's never done this before to want to do it if all I'm hearing is it's terrifying?
I don't necessarily recommend doing that much.
Oh, well, maybe not that much, but just
Yeah.
in general trying it.
That's not terrifying.
Oh, okay. But the
Yeah.
amount you had is what made it terrifying.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to go to the Hall of Anubis. By
Okay,
taking
great.
LSD.
Because I already have a lot of anxiety.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Going and doing what I did will fucking shatter that into a million pieces. Like, fuck that anxiety, dog. Like, what are you gonna do? Judge me? Like, I've already had a conversation with the galactic consciousness about what it means to be good. Like, I'm fine. We're gonna be fine, just fine. Fuck your feelings. And so, yeah.
Like, I already judge myself. You can't
yeah,
judge
like,
me.
dog, whoa, you've no,
Nice try.
You've no fucking clue what I've seen, dog. Like, what they put me through. Like, god damn it. God fucking damn it. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I definitely thought I died and thought that I was being judged at the end of the playthrough. And it told me that it went through everything, and it basically told me as long as I kept doing what I was doing, it was going to be chill. Like, you're playing fine. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, fuck. I get to keep playing? And I was like, mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow, you're communicating with me. And it was like, mm-hmm. And I was like, what's the fucking purpose of life? And I'll give you one opportunity to answer this question, and I'll give you one hint. It's
The purpose of life, not
Yeah.
the meaning of life. Because I thought we figured out that was 42.
That's a fun answer. So the question that I asked was purpose.
Purpose.
And it showed me, and it was a 4-letter word.
It's a 4-letter word.
Yeah.
Is there like a category?
It's love.
Oh, you.
That's the fucking
Love.
whole point.
Okay.
Don't me it. Like, I got bonked over the head with this information. Like, I'm absolutely beckoning forth spooky knowledge at this point that I got in, like, through psychedelic experience. So this
And it's
isn't,
love.
This isn't anything I read in a book. It's some shit that the galactic consciousness shared with me when I asked it the right question. And
It sounds so cheesy.
yeah, but it's
But that's
so
what
simple.
it is.
Yeah, so whenever it told me, right, I tried every way that, 'cause, I mean, understand this whole thing took lifetimes to play through, and I tried to break this answer. It literally was like, go ahead, try, and like there was no situation that I could come up to where love wasn't the answer, because even in circumstances where you feel like there's no way to deal with the circumstance as you're passing through it with love to fix the situation, but the truth is that whatever that person's deficient in that's causing, like that person who's trying to burglarize your home, right? They were deficient in love in the past. If they'd had the love they needed in the past, they wouldn't be burglarizing you now. You feel me? If there was the appropriate amount of love everywhere that everybody needed, everything would be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And the big thing that was evident to me is that all that love is accessible to you all the time. Literally, the love that your mom felt for you whenever she fucking birthed you is still accessible. All the points in space and time are here, accessible here and now.
What do you mean by accessible? Like you can still, like I can still access my mom's love?
Absolutely. Yeah.
How?
It's literally a matter of opening yourself up to it, because it's all there. It's all actively there here now. All you can do is get out of your own way. You've put up barriers to the flow of these feelings, but there you can. It's absolutely valid for you to allow for the flow of unconditional love into yourself at all times.
So interesting. You're talking to like a very big skeptical atheist over here, and I hear like, what is the purpose of life? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, dog. Let me tell you.
There
that-
isn't one, maybe.
So let me tell you. I mean, first off, I don't know.
Sure, of course.
I
None
don't-
of us do.
I don't fucking know. This is the best of my ability to translate what I went through with words. Like, I went to college for fucking philosophy so that I could talk about this shit. And everything is absolutely aware of itself in quite the same way as we're aware of ourselves. The gourds are, and the table is, and the air is. Everything's alive, and it's all and literally you can think of it like a computer, right? We're like programs operating on a solid state drive, right? But we aren't, like, at the end of the day, we're the solid state drive. The programs are just auxiliary functions that go on inside of that thing. You know what I'm saying? And all the experiences that we have get saved into the galactic consciousness. The galactic consciousness is a shared experience, or the Christians call it the Holy Ghost. It's the part of it that rides with you all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's the shared observer. And I believe that I can kind of point to a way to validate this by they've proven scientifically now that animals know whenever they're being observed. Like if you were standing out in the field and I were just staring at you for long enough, eventually you go,
someone's watching me, yeah.
And look right at me. You go, after long enough. And it's because the thing that compels you on the back end is the thing that compels me on the back end. And so you're peripherally exposed to that information through the shared experiencer. You feel me?
I don't know. That's some wild stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you. Do enough LSD and see if this shit doesn't deliver itself to you on a silver.
Yeah, I wonder
platter.
if my perspective would change on just how I view the universe and
you can't help it. You absolutely can't help it. It's like I'll tell you what doing a high dose of LSD will do for you. It's like you've been looking at reality this whole time from one perspective, right? You've been firmly between your eyes and between your ears your whole life. Right? Yeah. So you've been looking at reality like this. It's a 2-dimensional fucking square hanging in space. Right? You're going to take LSD and it's going to go when you're going to go, oh, holy fuck, there's extra depth and width to this whole thing. That's what happens to the pillows. I'm telling you, there's infinite depth and width and there's magic on the surface of everything here. Everywhere. If you just stop passing it through the filter of capital gain and survivability and look at life through the eyes of a toddler again, dog. It's all fucking magical.
Huh.
And it's an easier way to talk about it is if you were looking at a 6, right, and you took a bunch of LSD and it twisted and it was like a 9, right, and like this, the idea that your entire ability to perceive reality can be that drastically changed with nothing but the couple drops of some chemicals, that alone can be is like really humbling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, this is a really delicate thing we're fucking playing with here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but I do thoroughly believe that we are literally all one big thing. Is the bolt that holds together the truck the truck?
I mean, you could argue that it's just a piece of the truck.
Okay, but then it's taken out and it's just not. You see what I'm saying?
So then the truck is no longer a truck.
That's not what I'm trying to say. The point,
okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
The point is that they go with one another.
Okay.
Right? It's like the heads on coral reefs. How you can touch them individually and they experience it individually, but they're part of one big living organism.
Okay.
That's very much like what we are. It's just that there's higher dimensions, right? And like we're all connected in a way that we can't necessarily see physically, right? But we are very much connected. The fact that we can see and talk with each other is a literal connection, right? And so at the higher level, we are literally connected in our one big organism. And
I've never looked at life like this.
I hadn't ever really until I took a bunch of drugs. And I mean, so here's the thing is that I always kind of intuitively felt some of this stuff, and then taking that high a dose of a psychedelic just allows for you to look at everything with such a fresh set of eyes that it's obvious. The shit is obvious. It's like, oh fuck, well that's a 9, but it also could be a 6, and like now you just know that it's either one depending on how you want to look at things, right? And like imagine how much more robust of a perspective you can have on life knowing that everything is like that, not just being like, well that's a car. Well it fucking could be fucking whatever else. It could be anything but a car.
It could also be a chicken.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really, really neat is that it was very, very obvious that the universe is infinite. You know what I'm saying? Like and so anything, if the universe is infinite, right, then there's nothing that you can see in your mind's eye that doesn't exist somewhere. within the infinite realm of the simultaneously existing universes that are laying on top of one another. Like it's infinite, dude. There's no way for it not to be somewhere. It's infinite. And so I believe that our consciousness moves about the fifth dimension. You feel me? Like whenever I tell you,
The fifth dimension?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like the higher
Like-
dimensions, right? The bottom line is that whenever I tell you to think about what happened yesterday, and you see that, that's your consciousness going to that place in space and time and observing, right? Because that's a real place in space and time, right here, right now, that you can go to. You're seeing it. That's how you're seeing it. And so, whenever you think of some wild thing that you've never seen before, that's something you're going and seeing it from somewhere. You're beckoning that from somewhere. All these things exist. It can't not exist. And so whenever I tell you to think about what you're going to be doing tomorrow, right? Like you're going to wake up in your bed tomorrow. You can see that, right? Like the path to there is really, really clear. Well, I tell you to think about what you're going to be doing in, your comedy show at the end of the month, right? You can see that. You can see what it's going to be like at your comedy show, sort of. More or less, it.
Right, like not exactly. I don't know how everything's going to go to a T,
Exactly,
but I
but you
can
can-
say I know how this is going to probably look and be shaped and that sort of thing.
You can vaguely put yourself in that room, right? And the point is that you're actually, I believe that you are literally going to that place when you look there, and I believe that you can wield that with intent, and I believe that if you want to envision something that is your version of success, right? You can nurture that path that you're forging in the higher dimensions by looking at it regularly. The more you look at it, the clearer that room becomes. And before long, you know what the step leading right up to that event looks like. And before long, you know what the next event the next step you need to take from where you're at looks like. And before long, the path begins to reveal itself more and more just by thinking about it, just by putting yourself in the room. The path in the fifth dimension becomes clearer and clearer. And this is also one of the reasons why you'd want to not potentially talk about something that you're cherishing to someone who might think about something negatively, right? Like if you were to say to me, hey, Josh, envision this version of what success looks like for me, right? And I looked at something just completely negative. I looked at you fucking in jail or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like something crazy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not doing that, but the point is for the sake of the conversation, right? The point is that we're having a shared experience, and now I'm putting out a string of light between where we are and that potential experience. And now it makes it so that you can potentially fall into that reality tunnel. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to make sure that there's a path of least resistance in the fifth dimension, and you can have influence over that based on how you nurture the way things are being thought about, like the way things are thought about, forged paths in the higher dimensions. And so yeah, that was one of the neat things that doing psychedelics showed me, is that everything's infinite, and you can see everything that you can see is a place that really exists. And the more you think about those places, the clearer the path between here and there can get. And that's like that basically wrapped up in a nutshell, right? Like, is that a good way to like encapsulate that in like 2 sentences and make kind of some general sense?
Yeah.
Does it feel kind of right?
Well, I haven't had the same experiences as you, and so I don't know if I see it, but like in that way. But the way you describe it, I can understand what you're saying. I can understand how you would get from like this point to that point, and so that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Was that the question you were asking?
I don't remember what I asked you.
Oh,
It was
nice.
essentially just
Well, I'm all high.
putting it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And then also the aspect of you being atheist or agnostic, right?
Right.
And him just showing the power of positive thought.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's interesting the way that you put that.
Well, I think it's very much like The Secret and the law of attraction. Those things, I think that they're onto something. I think that if you do what those guys say to do, you can arrive at some really good conclusions. But I think that they have it wrong about what's happening metaphysically on the back end. And that's something that really like rang true to me throughout the entire thing, was like, some other people are talking about this, right? But they don't quite have their finger on it. And so I want to talk about it and try and get my finger on it because they're onto something. We can absolutely have influence over where we wind up in the future by the way we think about things. And
Yeah.
so we need to figure out how to wield that.
The brain can be really powerful in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's so interesting.
So what did you go to college for?
I went to art school actually.
Neat. What type of art were you doing? Like what degree were you? So did you wind up getting your degree?
I did get my degree, yeah.
Because you didn't flop out like me. Huh?
It doesn't matter. No one cares if you have a college degree anymore.
Well, again,
unless you want to be a doctor.
Well, my thing is that a lot of times those degrees are only really to verify that you possess particular knowledge.
Like did a thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like this certifies that I possess particular knowledge. And it also certifies that I can participate within an organized institution for a prolonged period of time and succeed.
So it does show something. It shows a data point.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You did mechanical functions like a trained monkey the way that institution wanted you to for 4 years. You can come do that at our institution. You can do exactly what we say, when we say, how to say to do it because you made A's. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I only say that because my current job, I don't have a computer science degree yet. I'm working in the computer science field.
Yeah.
So there are other ways to gain skills.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so again, the college degree at this point, I think they have value, especially for particular careers, right? Like becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor.
Yeah.
You need that shit.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, there are certain things you need to be trained and educated in to be successful in that field.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I wish that colleges would do is I wish that they would show people how to capitalize on their knowledge, right? Because at the end of the day, they're equipping you with knowledge and skills that make you capitalizable, right? Like someone's going to plug you into their institution and you're going to do some certain shit and that's going to make what they're doing more profitable and they're going to break you off a portion of the profit that you're generating for them. Right? Mm-hmm. You're never getting the value that you actually create as an employee. And
which is crazy when you think about it.
Exactly. And so my thought is that I wish that the college institutions would train people on how to not only have this knowledge, but how to wield it within the free market for themselves.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like how to go be a freelancer, how to go market yourself as someone who can
start your own business.
Exactly.
Those sorts of things.
How to do what you would be doing for one company for multiple people as a private institution. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You don't have to go and crunch numbers as an accountant within a company.
You could do it for multiple companies.
You could start your own accounting firm and take on a dozen clients and do the same job for a dozen clients and make 12 times the money. And you wouldn't be getting broke off what your employer feels like you're worth. You'd be getting all the money. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I wish that in quite the same way, that applies to every college degree. Every college degree that they have is there because it had that knowledge possesses inherent value. Mm-hmm. Is like the idea, right? Mm-hmm. And so I wish that they would train people on how to go and like make their own money with it instead of everybody. Like it bothers me so much whenever I talk to people who are in college or are freshly graduated and they're like, I can't get a job. No one will give me a job. Well, no one has to, you know, like,
yeah.
It's like,
I mean, technically, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like, bruh, go like either track it down or figure out how to capitalize on your knowledge yourself. And again, I wish that the path to capitalizing on that knowledge you acquired through college yourself wasn't such a mysterious path. I wish that they would show you how to do that in college. I wish that was one of the classes on the way out is like how what you're doing in this degree plan, how it relates to the free market and how people are going to try and capitalize on you, how to understand your value within what you're going to be doing within institutions and how you can do that for yourself as a freelancer or as a private institution. I think that should be a required part of every degree plan.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we should learn a lot of things that we don't learn.
Yeah, and I think I think we shouldn't learn a lot of shit they make us learn.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like nobody teaches you how to do your taxes. No one teaches
No.
you how
Civics.
to
How long we been going?
An hour.
Oh shit. Well, let's shit on the school systems real quick, and then we'll parlay our way out.
Yeah. I love a good shit on the school systems.
Yo, they're atrocious. They're really bad, and like I hate it because the teachers are such sweet people. They're trying so hard.
No, the teachers I don't think are the problem.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
They're like trying their best, buying kids pizza parties with their underpaid salaries and
They're
shit.
buying
Like,
all the supplies with
Yeah.
with the very little money they're given.
teachers are the best. We love all the teachers, but
Yeah.
fuck the institutions above them that are making it shitty for everybody.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like grade school?
I understand its significance in the way that it's structured right now, right? Ideally, everybody learns, the same foundation of things. It's supposed to set everybody up for moving into things that help you.
Keeps us all on the same page.
It keeps everybody all on the same page. Thank you. In less words. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But does it really? Because it doesn't. It depends on so many factors. It depends on which school you're going to, which teacher you have. It depends on whether your family has money or not. Whether, I think it's bigger than just the school system, but I do think that it's meant to do one thing, but the reality of it is completely different.
I think the biggest issue that I have with it is that they don't teach people how to think.
That's true. I ended up going through a boot camp to learn how to code, and the biggest thing that they taught us was how to learn, how to solve a problem you don't know how to solve. And that isn't something I think I ever learned.
Yeah.
While
That's incredibly valuable information.
shelling all that money out at a university, learning that in any of the schools that I went to, they're not teaching you how to learn. They're not teaching you how to problem solve. They're not teaching you how to break something down that's really complicated into smaller steps. And if you know how to do that, you're set up for so much more success, I think, in general.
Well, and beyond that, like I went to college for philosophy, so I took Logic 1 and 2, and then took Logic 1 again for shits and giggles because I enjoyed the shit. And so imagine what it's like dealing with someone who's college trained in logic, dealing with someone who doesn't have common sense. You feel me? And
it would be
it can be frustrating.
very frustrating.
Right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're trying to have an educated conversation with somebody, and it's like playing chess with a turkey. You have them in checkmate, and they just shit on the board and walk around like they won anyways because they don't understand. What does and
What a
does
great
not actually
analogy.
make
I like
sense.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't understand what does and does not make sense. They don't recognize checkmate at all. And so I feel like we need to be teaching everybody logic. I feel like everybody needs to understand, matter-of-factly, what is and is not a good line of reasoning.
Critical thinking skills.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
critical thinking is, again, just applied logic.
No, I know
to
that's what I mean.
circumstances,
That's
you know
what I'm saying. In
And so
addition to, like, if you
yeah.
take a logic class, you learn critical thinking skills. You
parlays
learn
into so many good things.
exactly.
And my biggest bone to pick with the school systems now is that those kids don't need to be at school for 8 hours.
It's a long time to be in school.
The only reason why them kids are in school for that long is so mommy and daddy can go work in the factory. That's it. And we need to get the fuck over that. Okay? COVID showed everybody that most people can work from home and make their money. Okay?
and that 40-hour work weeks aren't necessarily productive.
No, most people.
You reach a certain level of productivity at a certain number of hours, and then after that, it's just diminishing returns. So what's the point?
Most people are having to sit on their thumb
Well,
for
of
the
course.
next 20 hours. Yeah, they're working for 20 hours and they're sitting there with their thumb up their ass for 20 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just pay people the same, let them work less. You know what I'm saying?
They'll be more productive, probably,
Absolutely.
in the long run. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. And they'll be happy to come in the extra time. But again, so I feel like we need to change a lot about it because we don't necessarily need kids in school for 40 hours a week so their parents can be at work 40 hours a week anymore.
Because we already know that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's bad to lock kids in. I mean, come on. Kids are Comanches. Do you have any kids?
I don't have any kids, but I'm an auntie, so I do have
So
little ones that I love and care deeply
Yeah,
for.
so you've seen them. They're fucking crazy.
They're
They
insane.
have no reason to be locked in a box.
No,
for that long.
they're wild.
Well, man, we've digressed into all kinds of dumbass shit. I actually had a couple of questions that I had canned that I was going to ask if we got to like kind of awkward spots. And we never even got there, man. Literally
Yeah.
never had to ask one of my canned questions. I feel like it was a nice, fun conversation. We talked about a lot of silly shit. Would you please, for the audience, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you? Just the thing we did at the beginning.
Absolutely.
Wrap it up one more time. You know, let everybody know where they can find you, how they can support you. That's the big, how they can support you. You know.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm Sarah Spear. I'm a comedian in Austin, Texas. You can find me on pretty much every social media platform at Spear Sarah, and that is Sarah with an H. And yeah, the things that I'm looking for in terms of support are I would love to see you at the shows. Would love to have you like my silly roller skating videos because
They're
that
great.
gives me a dopamine hit.
They are
But
great.
really, the more people we can get out to the shows, the more I can pay the comics and the more I can help instill newer systems that allow people to create art and get paid for it, because that is something I care deeply, deeply for. And that is why I started these shows. So yeah, would love to see y'all out there and help me pay my comics because they're really good at what they do.
Beautiful. Well, everybody, y'all heard it there. Again, this is Joshua. This is Sarah. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's the Ones Who Woke Up podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth, monkey mouth.